All right, everybody, it's Monday. It is June 14th, 2021. It is Stick and Hack Reacts. I'm Adam Grubb from Stick and Hack. That is Keith Stewart from ESPN Radio in New York. Keith, welcome in to Stick and Hack Reacts. This is our weekly look at what happened at the PGA, the LPGA over the weekend. This was the weekend before the storm of the U.S. Open and the PGA, which is typically the weekend before a major, is these tune-ups or warm-ups, and also people aren't paying a lot of attention to that tournament because they don't have a lot of the big names in it. But this tournament, the Palmetto Championship, Keith, had a storyline of epic proportions when it comes to a young kid who was going to get a second tour victory, ended up doing what people have done in the past weeks. He, choked and leaked oil through the back nine and ended up losing that. Your reaction and the information from the Palmetto Championship.
Well, I mean, if you want to define golf, you just take a look at that Palmetto Championship this weekend. I got to give it I feel bad for Chesson Hadley, but I feel great for Garrick Higo, and golf gets a new hero from South Africa. I mean, how big is South Africa? I mean, you've got Louis, Gary Player, Ernie Els. I mean, over the years, Retief Goosen, and they just keep, creating these unbelievable champions. And we'll get to Garrick in a second, but I think about Chesson Hadley. At the end of the day, maybe it's just a blip on the radar. I mean, he played 11 events in 2021, missed the cut 9 times. He had missed the cut 5 times in a row. So maybe if we put aside that he had a 4-shot lead going into Sunday, and we don't think about the 6 bogeys he made or the 3 bogeys to close, or the bogey he made on the final hole with an 8-iron into the green and he hit the grandstand. I mean, it wasn't like a par 5 with a 3-wood, Adam. It was an 8-iron into the grandstand. Right. And then he tried to get up and down with a hybrid. For a second, I thought that was you there, chipping with a hybrid. And then he hit it to like 10 feet. So when he misses that putt, he loses a little over $400,000 because he goes from being in a playoff and then second by himself to a 6-way tie for second and loses $400,000. Oh man, Chesson Hadley, watch the bridges wherever he's driving next. But Garrick Higo, total
and that's
star.
The thing. He didn't have a big blow up. He just leaked oil. He just had hit bogey. He wasn't in it, and the nerves got to him. There's no other way. Now, he did not say that he choked after the round. He said, "I refuse to say that I choked, but I had some problems." That was his take on it. He had some problems, and hitting an 8-iron 190 yards into the grandstand, I think would be problems. Palmetto Championship is an for you. But there's still storylines there that people need to look at as far as anybody that is playing in the U.S. Open. Anybody surprise you or excite you watching them play over the weekend as they tune up for this week's Open?
Well, DJ had his first top 10 since Riviera, and that was a ways ago. That was February. Garrick Higo is now officially on the map. This kid is a stud. There's no doubt about it. I mean, his last 4 European Tour events before he came over for the PGA was a 4th, a 1st, an 8th, and a 1st. He had 16 tournament rounds, Adam, and all of them were par or better, right? So, 10 of those rounds were 66 or better. So this kid can definitely play some golf. Brooks misses the cut, but at the same time, Brooks could have had a date with Jenna over in Hilton Head and just wasn't really interested in playing in the Palmetto Championship. I don't know. Maybe he had another Michelob commercial to film. It's beyond me. But I think that it was a great tournament. It's interesting that this golf course, they put everything together in 3 months, and the champion was only 11 under, not 25 under. I think, the PGA Tour, great job on the pivot. And speaking of which, let's just pivot over to the Mediheal Championship in the LPGA.
Outstanding. So the Mediheal Championship, LPGA, you had a first-time winner from Finland in this thing. Tell me about that, your reaction to the LPGA, the Mediheal Championship over the weekend.
Well, talk about the antithesis of Chesson Hadley's day. Matilda Castren starts off 5 under on her first 5 holes in the final round, and she started the day 2 behind Min Lee, right? Min Lee it's a tough golf course there at Lake Merced. She looked like she was in complete control of her game, and she did shoot 3 under par, 69 on the day, but the 65 final round by Matilda Castren was definitely impressive. Even more impressive is that, she's carrying the weight of a country as the first woman ever from Finland to win on the LPGA Tour. It's her 15th start. Congratulations to her. She's going to cash like a $225,000 check. She gets some status on that tour. She had played good last week, I think top 30 in the Women's U.S. Open, so signs of good things to come. And a little aside there, it was an interesting day for the Florida State Seminoles because the Symetra Tour, which is like the Korn Ferry Tour for the LPGA, also had a Seminole winner, and that was Morgan Motro. So, congrats to Amy Bond and the women's coach there at FSU. 2 players on the same day winning on 2 different women's tours. Kind of cool. But there's a tie in here, Adam. Let's go back to the Finland thing. Speaking of Scandinavians, all right, I got a bonus react for you. So I'm big thumbs up on Matilda Castren. I think, big closer on the 65 there to win the Metaheel Championship. But over in Scandinavia this past weekend, Henrik Stenson, Annika Sorenstam hosted an innovative new event, combination ladies European Tour, men's European Tour, called the Scandinavian Mixed. Half the field was women, half the field was men. 72 holes, your standard stroke play format. They played it out. What do you think of that concept?
I love the concept. That is a happy green face all day long. We've been talking about this on stickandhack.com for a while now. How do you get more people involved? How do you bring and bridge that gap between the PGA, the LPGA, between the European men, the European women, whatever the case may be? We're trying to bring people together. And this format is not just great for golf. It's great for viewership. It's great to bring new eyeballs to some great players. I played over the weekend in a mixed doubles tennis tournament, which was the same thing. You have half men, half women. It was a blind draw.
Tennis.
And we played in this tennis tournament. Yes, tennis. I know this is golf, but golf and tennis, they have that same thing. That's one of the sports where men and women together makes the most sense. And from a golf perspective, I love it. I think that hopefully we see more of those types of events, and not just made for TV events, but true cash events that people can take notice of, and it become a part of the staple of the season throughout the year. We on the Business of Golf show, Keith, Allison Johnson and I talked, and it's coming up here in a couple weeks with the Tournament of Champions, one of the executive vice presidents and executive tournament directors of the Tournament of Champions for the LPGA down in Florida, in Orlando. Another great event that brings celebrities and brings people in. It's all about eyeballs and impressions and bringing more people to the game. A mixed event, 100% in. And I hope to maybe they do one here in the States. I don't necessarily want to travel all the way over there to watch it, but maybe they do something here in Indiana to make it easy for me to see it. But I would love to be a part of that, of a mixed event like that, for sure. And you love it too, I would assume. That's why you brought it up.
Yeah, I definitely love it, and I thought you would too. And I think it's just important to get that out there because our Stick and Hack fans, the Reacts folks, they need to know that these things are taking place. The PGA Tour and the LPGA Tour are watching that, and the success they had this weekend. I think 2 ladies finished in the top 10, 6 or 7 in the top 25. So it was very competitive from both sides. And the fact that they started the field even 50% men, 50% women, and you've got to set up different length golf courses, and it seemed to work out. I mean, the 36-hole leader was a woman. The eventual winner was Jonathan Caldwell. The guy shot 64 on the final day. So tons of drama, great storylines. The PGA Tour and the LPGA Tour, if they can figure out all the schedule changes due to COVID in 2020, they can figure out a schedule change and bring these 2 tours together, and I think it would be an epic event. I mean, I think it would be at the level of like a WGC, because in order to get in it, you would have to be some of the biggest names on either one of those tours. Right. And there's a plethora of sites that would love to host something like that. So yeah, big thumbs up on that one too. Now, is there anything else going on in golf this week?
I don't think. Oh yes, the U.S. Open. U.S. Open starts on Thursday at Torrey Pines. The biggest question and the most obvious question is who's going to win, who you think, all that stuff. But let's just talk about your reaction to the U.S. Open. Fans back at the Open now, a year removed from COVID. We are in a spot now with golf and golfers in the PGA. This is going to be anybody's U.S. Open. Nobody, in my opinion, is a true favorite to win this thing. Your reaction to the cards and odds so far of the U.S. Open?
Well, as if the Masters didn't have enough great storylines. Jordan Spieth coming in winning. As if we walk away from the PGA and Phil Mickelson wins, if that wasn't a tremendous event. Look at what is about to happen at the U.S. Open. Does Mickelson, he's the number one storyline. Does he get his career Grand Slam? John Rahm was cleared yesterday, Adam, right? Rombo's coming.
Yeah.
He's cleared, right? The X-Man, Xander, plays great in majors. I don't know if I'd take him at Torrey, though. He's played there 6 times, missed the cut 4 times, right? Then you got Brooks and Bryson back on the same, venue at the same time. And then don't forget, remember Reedgate back in January? Patrick Reed won by 5. Maybe there are horses for courses. I don't know. Could it be another redemption story? Could it be a Lee Westwood? Could it be a Tony Finau? Where he be now, right? I mean, there's all sorts of things that are going on. Does Will Zalatoris do it again? I don't know. I'm pumped up for the U.S. Open. I'm not sure who my winning pick is yet, but I'm telling you, look at a top 20 list like Corey Connors, Ryan Palmer, Jason Kokrak, Reed again, Leishman, Justin Rose. Justin Rose is coming in 60-1, right? He's won the Farmers before, and he's in good form. So, I love all these storylines. What do you got? Who do you have your eye on this week?
I refuse to answer that question under the grounds it might incriminate myself and my relative lack of knowledge of golf in general. So I'm just going to say I can't wait for an incredible tournament. Having it at Torrey Pines, though, always brings up the ghost of Tiger. Always will bring up those storylines. Now, in the past, I think at the PGA Championship, there was some scuttlebutt and some rumors that the announcers were not allowed or were told not to mention Tiger's name during that major. I don't know how they can't do that here. U.S. Open 2008, Tiger Woods, broken leg, broken hip, the whole deal. That's when he won his major before the Masters. Honestly, I think that the Torrey Pines stage is perfect for this year's U.S. Open, and Stick and Hack's going to be there. We're going to be there live over the first couple days of the tournament. Super pumped, obviously, for this week and being at that major. But there's just something about the U.S. Open at Torrey Pines on the water, California. You got late afternoon, late evening golf here on the East. It's going to be an incredible week, and we can't wait for it. Keith, your reactions were on par today, per usual. Fantastic, great to see you. Thank you for your take and for bringing up some of those tournaments and some of those things happening in golf that a lot of people don't know about. It is vitally important to keep the game growing. Keith Stewart from ESPN Radio in New York. I'm Adam Grubb with Stick and Hack. This is Stick and Hack Reacts. Keith, we'll see you next week.
Hey, Adam.
Yes.
You expect anything different?
Yeah.
Enjoy the grub for lunch, everybody. See you next week.